We'll just check that it's actually recording. It is. So today we're looking at your website with a review to covering context and research. So this is the grading criteria we've got in front of us on paper as well to have a refer back to. We'll start with, how do you feel like the project's going in general, like in terms of your personal thoughts?
Considering the fact that I've had less time, it's actually progressing really well.
Oh, great.
Keeping that in mind.
Yeah.
I think I've got like a good chunk of research, not like massive amounts, but just relevant, like specific and relevant information. It's more of a quality over quantity sort of thing.
That's good, and obviously that means that you're referring to the grading criteria. So that idea,
I think so. I don't know how it works, but
yeah, but no, you're right.
Just guessing at this
no,
point.
that keyword there, relevant, is like you don't want to be just looking at things for the sake of it. And you didn't do that last year. You did as you know, we're coming off the back of with yourself a distinction in year one's final project, and I guess we're wanting to emulate that again, right? So that would be my expectation. We've talked about that in your ambitions and like before today, so we want to try to ensure that off the back of this meeting we give you some pointers to get that to the next level, and to get it to distinctive level. But yeah, that is a key thing, so the relevant thing, and obviously the idea of research being sustained. And just for the record, because you talked about the idea of like having less time, that's because you were quite poorly for at the start of the project.
I'm hoping to make up that time somehow.
Yeah, and I'm sure you will. So
that's all like unreal experimentation because I've been doing that.
Yeah, that's good. And that's again really helpful that you have the ability to do it outside of college. So you've self-assessed as at a merit level at the moment. You feel like for both?
Yeah. That's the medium level sort of thing. That's what I'd think.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm looking for, but if I had to guess,
yeah, that's maybe you being a bit pessimistic, or you just being realistic.
Probably a bit more pessimistic. I'm very critical of myself.
Okay, well that's no bad thing. That's probably why you've ended up getting a distinctive level feedback through the formative units and obviously in the last year's project. So that's good. And you've said that you have primary research in the form of photography.
I also have a survey now because I just finished it after.
Good. What are you surveying about? What's that?
Mostly just genre, what people like to see in like FPS or roguelikes, action games sort of thing.
Yeah.
Genre, popularity, etc.
Okay, so to establish a kind of market need or what people
are looking for in that sort of game.
Cool. And you have got books and magazines and your research. What have you looked at for that then so far?
Mostly just like game reports on like things like PC games and stuff. I can't remember which one it was. It was that a game called Vowed, I think.
Okay.
I can't remember. I just typed in magic in a Control F and just look through all the issues.
Cool.
It's easier.
That's always good, yeah. And then we've got
last count, it was about 16-ish.
Cool.
It might be bigger now, I'm not sure.
Okay. And is that incorporating some of the research you did as part of your Unit 12 report as well?
Yeah. I've taken out most of it because it's not relevant, but because it's too broad, most of it.
Okay. And then you said survey, but obviously you've actioned that. What else do you know off the back of today? Like when you go back into this class and get going again, what are you looking at adding research-wise, or that you need to look into more before you?
Well, I don't see what else I could possibly research. I don't have any ideas really.
Right. Well, that's what today's for then. So hopefully we'll be able to suggest some things. So you've got. I'm going to do also today a little bit of just checking things. So make sure that your proposal's on here, which it is on your homepage. Great. This needs to be populated, so you need to
No.
I
typed stuff. Okay, scroll down a bit further.
Okay.
I didn't update it.
No, maybe it's just the old version then.
It's the old version.
Okay, so yeah, that's it. But again, that's why we do this sort of process, because then it'll like that sort of thing can go under the radar very easily, and then so that's your first thing to action when you get back. We'll look at authentication. Have that, which is good, and we have a bibliography, which is building, and as you said, so yeah, we've got 16 or so, like you said, at the moment, so that will continue.
16-ish, really.
Approx, yeah. So you've got your SWOT analysis, you've got a grading activity, and you've reflected on what you've got from that, which is good. Some key things. You've got codes and conventions of fantasy.
But codes and conventions like genre stuff is mostly like from the what's it called? Unit 12-ish.
Yeah.
Most of it is, but mostly I've also added some other stuff as well, but the other stuff I've added is a lot more like my words are escaping me today.
That's all right.
Also, with these things, this bit is actually bigger than it is. I've actually just had to shorten it down because he was just talking about broader subjects. I just didn't need.
Okay.
It's a lot bigger than that.
Yeah. And this is work from where? This is like something you've.
Honestly, I can't remember where it came from. I just know I've got a source in there.
Okay.
It was some article I found.
Have you said then what you're taking from that article? Like, is there somewhere where you've said like, off the back of this, this is what I need.
Actually, I think I might have actually. It might be at the bottom, but it might be at the. Yeah. Hang on, scroll up.
Yeah.
It was. Hang on, scroll up.
Oh, I find to make sure the game's difficulty is rewarded. This is your words, right?
Yeah.
Oh, this is all your stuff, right?
The next paragraph is my words. So it hasn't got any like references in the bottom right. That's where I put them. I don't know if that's right or
yeah.
That's just where I put them.
Yeah, it might be good to sort of say like, I don't know how to highlight that this is your like reflection on your research, but like
put it in italics.
Yeah, that would work. I think something I was thinking that as well. Something that was just distinguishing
quotes in italics.
Yeah, that's probably more like that would be better. Like put the quotes in italics and your stuff in regular.
Look a bit odd, but
yeah. Or just I don't know.
Again, cut bits that were irrelevant, cut bits that are irrelevant.
Yeah. And then your reflections.
And then reflections should be at the bottom.
Aren't
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And then cut stuff I didn't need.
Yeah. Again.
And this is like new stuff. Okay. I know that video's a bit silly, but it makes a lot of good points. That's one.
Yeah, what these ones?
That one
in
particular. But it just tells me what things what that was combat system research.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Again, I think like you said,
it's very broad. Sorry.
No, that's fine. But it's clear like everything's relevant. Like you're doing things for a reason to cover them.
The research I got was like broadish, but I know like the specific things that I'm able to do. That was just like gaming research. I found a game on Steam that eerily resembles my idea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which is it? This one?
Yeah. It's sort of like FPS roguelike where you can play as a mage casting spells going through dungeons. It's almost exactly my game.
Okay, cool.
It's really, really weird. I was like, oh my god, have I thought of something that someone else has already done? Oh god.
Well, that's cool though. That's going to give you quite a lot of things. Maybe even things like not to do or ways to like to change things up.
Well, there's a dungeon crawler, mine's an arena survival thing.
Yeah.
Then market research, looking at Steam charts mostly.
Yeah.
Roguelike specifically.
Okay, cool.
And then that bit was from Unit 13, which is popular like game genres of 2023.
Yeah, cool.
And then after this is the code I did myself on my summer project where I talked about like how to use it, and then I used event dispatches. I'm talking about how to like put stuff on like on the screen, like having a gate. Because I'm gonna have a mana gauge.
Yeah.
That I already have a mana system working. I just to like make it like
cool. So this is like is more going into more technical research basically. Yeah.
I'm not sure whether I'll be using like some sort of like textured bar. I've had time.
Yeah.
That's the primary research for the castle wall things I'm trying to have, and there's the PC gamer thing.
Cool. So you're not going to be dungeon crawling as such. You're going to be in an arena.
That would be like making procedural dungeons, and I do not fancy trying to figure that out.
No. So you'll make one big arena and have like what wave attacks of enemies?
Yeah, wave attacks, hopefully.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario is just an endless spawning system, but best case scenario is like waves.
Yeah. Cool.
Waves might be randomized. I'm not sure. Maybe I can have like a minimum value and a maximum value for each wave, and then it picks a random one. That's the survey.
And you're playing from a first-person perspective, right?
Yeah, first person. I didn't want to make a player character.
And what about the enemies that are attacking you? You're going to source a model for that, or like?
If worst comes to worst, I will source models, but I hope to like make my own. Cool. They're just going to be simple enemies. Like there's one enemy I'm thinking of making. It's just like I don't know. Ball, wings, eye. I saw it off a show.
Yeah. That sounds good. So like create like monsters. That would be, and that takes away the need for it to walk and stuff, and it can just sort of skid along or flapping its wings or whatever. Yeah. Great. That sounds really cool.
Actually, I've just got an idea, and there's the accessibility stuff. I've just got an idea. Maybe like instead of having the legs, it could just have like a little like swirly thing at the bottom, just to save on animations.
Yeah, that could be good. And also, if you take away legs, if it's like something that comes through the sky, it could have like then it could spawn at different heights or something, so that'd make it more of a challenge, right? I don't know, in my head straight away it sounds like something out of Doom as well, so it might be something that might be another thing to look at, like in terms of, I think just have a look at the inspiring the visuals. Obviously I'm gonna
visuals, I forgot about those.
Yeah, because I'm gonna that's my thing, whereas Sam is obviously gonna come at it from a point of view of gameplay and function. I think like if you're like doing it in a castle or like
low poly styles basically, so I don't have to,
so you don't have to worry about that. And I know you're not, but
I'm not an artistic person. That realism is not my thing.
No, but you do make stuff look really lovely. Like your thing last year, all your assets look great, you know.
That's because I was using the Substance Payer default textures. I can't texture it up.
But I didn't honestly.
My chest.
Well, but it's and
seen the wood.
The modelling was really good. But I think like again, just do a little bit of research into that, so the aesthetics of the enemy, and then that just drives it and changes it a little bit. Think about the animations and things, that could be really cool. Then if it's like if it's like, I don't know, I thought Zubats straight away or something from Pokemon's, but so
I was thinking of something, another franchise, but that's a good show.
But so something like that, some sort of psychoptic thing.
Is there any other page we were looking at, or is
no, but this is the main one today. I think you have got a really good breadth of research, and I'm really happy with it. I think I'd agree with your self-assessment, like merit level might even be a bit low. Like there's definitely, like if it continues basically and your research carries on into technical levels as you get into making it, then great. I think a little bit more research on aesthetics would be good, so that you can think about these dungeons. And then I guess I don't know, we'll have a look at this page. Have you got as far as floor plans and blockouts and stuff?
I'm getting prototype. I'm programming prototype actually.
Amazing, yeah. And then I think
I'm just doing experiments right now, seeing if it works. It's going very well. It's always going too well.
Oh, that's all good. That sounds great to me.
Yeah, a 10 out of 10 game. I can shoot different coloured balls. Choose which coloured ball to shoot.
Cool. And so that will be representative of what different magic attacks or different powers.
I found out the existence of enums. It's much easier than using an array.
Okay, cool. That's really good. And then
switches and stuff.
Yeah, that's great. And then what was I going to say? So I think the other thing with your research is that very planning wise as well, from my point of view, things like a floor plan, or I know it's just going to be an arena, so essentially a circle, but like where things spawn from and like how your players directed.
Perhaps we can have like a little not draw region. What are those things? Those cross portcullis.
Oh yeah.
That closes and then opens.
To release.
But then the player, just so the player can get trapped, I'll put an invisible wall there.
Yeah, cool. That sounds good. So again, all these things are in your head, but you can get these things down on paper. It's a really exciting project, and you're going really well with it. I can see it's going in the same direction as last year, which is fantastic.
It's going too easy. I don't like that.
I think one of the things to do earlier on this time around, as opposed to last year, is to try and get something playable that people can test earlier on, so that you can get feedback captured in data form. And if you can build in, say, 2 rounds of feedback stages, so say you have a distinct, like say 2 weeks after you come back from Easter, for example, like we come back on the 15th, so like say, I don't know, the early part of the 20th or something, that you're thinking about getting people to jump on maybe an untextured or like a white box version, play test it, and then a couple of weeks later when we're nearer or into May, then a more polished version, which you can get people to do surveys on, capture, see how people play it differently. You can map it to controllers and enable people to use controllers instead of
that's one of the accessibility options.
Yeah, exactly. And that remapping thing is great. That could be something you show an awareness of your accessibility. Perfect. Like ticks boxes.
I'm hoping to those projectiles are actually just duplicates of the first person projectile, but they're not actually child. So I'm hoping to do some more project orientating programming, so I can actually detect when a projectile hits it.
Yeah. Okay.
And
great.
not just the player.
Yeah. That sounds again, that's a really good, like, that's high level stuff as well. So yeah,
it's just learning a lot in a very short amount of time, and it's smooth.
Yeah, but it's
intuitive.
Yeah, I think you can.
But mostly figuring this stuff out by myself. There's not much research. There's not much like Googling required.
No,
at this point.
That's the thing. You're very, and that's the other thing I was going to say next, because the next time I see you, it will be problem solving. We'll be talking about and planning production practical stuff. Problem solving you do like really effectively, so effectively you almost do it like instinctively. So, but make sure you're capturing it on your site as well. So when you encounter a problem, you resolve it. About it, make sure that that's going in there. Okay, so that's that would be my kind of.
I haven't hit any like roadblocks that's yet, but
no,
I inevitably will.
Yeah, knock on wood, you don't, but like you almost need to have the evidence to show it, and there will be like minuscule things like on a day to day that you will be overcoming. But yeah, it's when you get to the more bigger stumbling blocks that it's going to be the key thing to work out.
I think the worst bits are probably going to be like. Because the next thing I'm going to try and experiment with is like collision detection with the projectiles, like damage functions. So I'm going to have like a Q blueprint. That's, for example, like test damage. If they get hit by a projectile like 3 times, it destroys the actor.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's that's sort of like I'm not sure how I'm gonna. I have a pretty good idea of how I'm going to do it, but it's whether it actually works properly.
Well, if it doesn't, like something to run past Sam, like he will no doubt have a suggestion or a solution.
I don't see why it shouldn't work, but
no, but that's something to experiment.
I've also got to do the amount of things as well. I've got to do that first. Then I go.
With again going back to aesthetics, like will you have in that example that you showed that was similar to yours? Will you have like, for example, a hand holding a wand?
Yeah, I'm going to get rid of the gun and just stick one there.
Just a wand, yeah. Okay. Well,
probably going to get rid of the arms as well.
Will you have an animation with it, like flick or something, as part of it? Or
yeah,
do you think?
Yeah. Probably just like I don't know how you animate in Unreal. I don't know that yet. But in case you can't really do that very well, I'm just gonna like rotate the model like that and then back hopefully using lerp to like make it smooth.
Yeah, just use it. Yeah, exactly. And on a float. So yeah, that'd be good. I think like it's really a nice project, Luke, and I think it's boding really well. I think again, if you can think about some of the polish as well to make it a sort of closed product, as in with a menu and a start screen, and thinking about like what gives it replay value. So for example, if it's a sort of wave attack thing, will you have a timer and a high score like in terms of that, or will you have just an end of level sort of thing where you've killed a certain amount that it supposedly goes to the next level? Thinking about that, like what sort of system would make it as part of a demo that you're making, like what would make it feel a bit more close, as in you get to a resolution of a goal of like killing X amount, or
there's a point to the game.
Yeah, exactly. Or achieve like high scores are really cool for that kind of thing. So yeah, really good. I think it looks phenomenal. So research wise, I think those are the things to plan in for, like the idea of building in primary research in the form of playtesting, and designing a playtesting survey is going to be the next thing. So researching that and then getting useful information. Looking at some aesthetic stuff, like we said about the enemies, that would be a really good thing. And also then some things like research-wise, more technical things, like you're talking about the idea of consideration of like the object-oriented hit, and the idea of like animations of the wand and stuff like that would be really cool. Yeah. And you definitely, what are you going to do after this course? That's my other thing. Have you got plans yet, or are you still not sure?
Still not really sure.
No, have a think, because like we obviously we'll be starting the HND on this site as well. So if you wanted to sort of stay local and do a course here, that might appeal to you. If not, and you just want to get into a job, then fine. But I think like you have the skills and ability to make it in industry. Like you're the fact that you're a distinctive level learner and have been through the course, like you just need to think about where it is you're going to go, and like eventually you might want to upskill and do that at a degree level, or go solo or whatever. But yeah, just think about it. All right. And
I just like making things.
And that's it. I think you'd be a shame if you had ended up in a mundane sort of job that's not enabling you to pursue your skills and to do this. So you could very well, because you've got a lot of self-motivation, make it as an indie developer. But I think without a bit of extra level of input, you wouldn't from a higher level of education, you might struggle to do that. So that would be my advice, basically. All right. Right. Let's cease recording here. Unless you've got anything else you wanted to add.
No.
No. All right. Let's stop recording there then.